Okay guys, we're doing a video on lighting for SHTF. I'm gonna say if you're not paying attention in the world, there's a lot of really weird stuff going on in the world. We got Hoover Dam getting ready to shut down, so the people in the south, west, you might want to heed the warning. This is lighting suggestions for you if you don't bug out. So I don't know if I'd be staying in the southwest if there's no electricity, but that's just my opinion. Have your plan, like I said in the last videos. Have a plan, have a bug out way, stay off the highways. Every retard on the planet's going to be on a highway and it's going to be gridlocked. If you ever watch any emergency evacuations, what's the highway doing? They're going 2 miles an hour. So I would find back roads and find them, and you know what? You're better off moving than sitting still. All right, so let's get right into this. So first one I'm going to discuss is Crisco, ball jars. We as preppers can oil or Crisco, we can butter, but you can make this into a candle in a heartbeat, okay? The way you do this is you get on the DIY internet like we did a bunch of years ago, and we figured out how we can Crisco and how we can do butter. Okay, so you put it inside the jar, you put it on a cookie sheet, you put it in the oven. I can't remember the exact temperature, but I'm thinking it's somewhere around 200 or 250 degrees for a certain amount of minutes. You take it out and it automatically seals when it's cooling off. You'll hear it pop. That means that it's completely airtight and sealed, and it will not go rancid. This will stay for a long time. You can,
That one is about 5 years old.
This one's about 5 years. You can put a wick in these. There's your candle. You can go regular candles, which my wife is a candle freak. I don't know how many candles I have. This woman buys them if there's a yard sale, a Salvation Army, anywhere like that. She buys them. We buy used candles. There's a reason we buy used candles. Now, you could take a regular candelabra candle, take an old candle, you take the old candle, put it inside of a pan, melt down all the wax, get all the wax out of the jar, take a regular candlestick, put it inside, brace it so it stays dead center of the jar, take all the old wax, pour it inside, and then you got a brand new candle. Now, she buys them for pennies on the dollar. I don't even know how many of these things. I could probably go in my house and I could probably go next 20 years and never run out of candle. I mean, that's how many there are in this house. Every time I turn around, there's more candles coming in. All right, on that point, we'll go on. So now we can go to these ones. Okay, now these ones, you put water in it, then you take cooking oil, put it on top of it, and then there's these little floating devices that you can put on them with little wicks. She buys these things, these little things, and they float on top of the oil. The oil soaks into the little wicks. I don't know if you can see them. Oh, I'm gonna pour them all over the place if I ain't painted. Are we getting the wicks? Okay. So right there, there's probably 50 of them inside there. I would imagine that them little candles ain't gonna burn out for a while.
One of those little wicks lasts 12 hours.
Okay, there you go. You got, so there's like 50 of them in there. So do the math on that one. That's one option for you. Now, we can go Another route, this is called a hurricane lamp. This runs on oil. Okay, this one's probably roughly, I would say 15, because of the size of the wick, I'd say it's 15, 20 watt light bulb. Okay, it's really important that you find where you're not wasting your oil, because if you get black creosote at the top of the chimney, that means you're wasting it. Okay, and it's going to turn it all black on the top. You want a light flame and an even burn, so you're not getting creosote at the top of your chimneys to be burning properly. Now those run on oil, lamp oil, or kerosene. You need to make up your mind which one you're going to run in this, because you cannot, and I'm going to repeat this, you cannot go from one to the other. Either you're going to burn oil in it or you're going to run kerosene in them. Okay, make sure you got, I would put little labels on them. You could go down, buy little sticky labels, put it on the bottom, put it on the side, whatever you're going to do with that to get. Okay, now this is a bigger one. This one would be probably a 30 watt light bulb. Okay, like I said, chimney at the top, find your even burn, so you're not wasting your wick and you're not wasting your oil or your kerosene. It's vital that you learn how to burn these things. Before I forget, for those who have children, okay, it's very important that you do this. I would keep these away from children at all times. If you're gonna burn this kind, I would definitely not put it on a table where a child could pull a tablecloth and flip this, because this is oil. It will catch on fire. Okay, you do not want to do that. You want to keep all the oil lamps, kerosene lanterns, away from anything that can combust. That's a must. You do not, under no circumstances, want to throw water if you do have an accident on these. It will cause it to explode to a bigger fire. You do not want a fire during SHTF. Believe me, there ain't nobody coming to save you. So if you're gonna go this route, what I'm talking about, you need to make sure everybody in the household knows right, wrong, what they're to do, what they're not to do with these. I've said it in multiple videos. You make sure everyone in the household is on board with what you are doing. Train with them, teach them, make them understand that this ain't a video game. SHTF ain't a video game in any way, shape, or form. You can't be resurrected. You're not going to go get a bunch of mana. You're not going to be come back to life over there, because that's what these idiots are teaching these kids. They have no moral compass. They just think that they can rematerialize somewhere else. Teach your children. If you work with them on a daily, you can teach them and they understand. That's the key. If you're straightforward with your children, especially during SHTF, train with them, explain to them. This is what it is. You need to, whatever you're doing with them, let them know the severity of what is going on. Trust no one. I'm telling you, trust no one. They will try to use your family members against you. They're going to try to use your kids against you. The biggest rouge out there, from what I can gather, is that women use themselves and their children to try to gain access to you, to pull on your heartstrings. Now, most people out there are Christians, and I do understand. I understand you're to help your fellow man. But there's a point where you got to say, no way. These people might be doing it for a gang outside or around the corner. to try to find out what you have and who's in there. To figure out what's going on with you so they can come in and hurt you and your family. So that's what I mean by trust no one. If you do not have a plan in place, okay, you don't have your allies already established, if you don't have a plan in place for these people that you have as allies in the group that you got together, outside of that, you don't trust anybody. It doesn't matter if you know that person or not. I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to people with children, they're going to do anything. And I've said it before, they will do anything. They don't care about you. Just because you know them, it doesn't mean that they care about you. Please believe me, if this goes down, you need to be more brutal than them. And I've said it before. Now, Christians, like I just said, are going to say, well, you know what? You might want to read the Bible again. Because the Bible says you are only responsible for your own. And I'm going to repeat that. Go look it up. I am only responsible for my own. And if everybody is responsible for their own, then they would already be prepared for what is coming. Okay? We got multiple weird things going on in the world right now. Multiple grumblings, rumors of war, wars, rumors. That's here nor there. What your job is to prepare. That's you, your spouse, your children. Train them. Let them understand it. You got to get serious with them. Okay? This thinking that the government is going to save you, think again. They're not going to save you. They're going to save themselves. Bottom line, they're going to save themselves. History keeps repeating itself. Go back. What are the people in Ukraine going through? The civilians. The government ain't there saving them. They're not doing anything to help them. They're just fighting their stupid war. It's going to go on here. It's going to go on over in Europe. The people, believe me, go back and look at history. The government does not help you. They're too busy fighting a war. They don't care about civilian population. The only thing they care about in a civilian population, I'll give you for instance, they went into a couple of bars in Ukraine. Guess what they were looking for? Draft dodgers. They arrested over 200 guys in bars in Ukraine for draft dodging. Okay, so they're not in there to save you. They're in there to make you a slave to the system. Don't be a slave. If you have ample food, water, medicine, safe place, and means of self-defense, guess what? You're not a slave to this system. They can't control you. That's the bottom line. Put all your people in a group together. Figure out a plan. Figure out what you're going to do. Stick to that plan. Don't deviate from that plan. That's it. These people will try to take everything you have. I promise you, this will happen. Go back in history, like I just said. They will do it. Trust no one. All right, so let me get back to this. So, this is called an Aladdin lamp. Okay, this is about a 60-watt light bulb. This is a really cool lamp. This one's antique. This one was given to me. It's actually a match set. It was given to me by one of my best friends. I love this lamp. It's really strange lamp. Huge chimney on it. This runs on lamp oil or kerosene too. You got to make up your mind when you're buying these. Like I said, you're going to run kerosene or lamp oil. Which one are you going to run? Now, this is an actual kerosene lantern. When I was buying these, we were roughly buying them for $8. Okay? I don't know what they cost now, but they do come with an extra wick. These are probably, I'm looking at the size of the wick, you're probably talking about a 25, 30 watt light bulb. comes with a funnel. Each one comes with a funnel, a spare wick. We bought multiple spare wicks. Okay, this runs on kerosene, not oil. This is kerosene. I can't get it any other way than this where I live. There's no other way. They don't have gas stations here that sell kerosene. Otherwise, I'd be stockpiling 55-gallon drums of it. But the people up in the Northeast and stuff like that, they run kerosene heaters in their home. They're roughly about yay big around and about yay tall, and there's a huge round wick in there. They use that for heating their homes and garages and stuff like that. That would be a way to go. Those work really well. Lamp oil you can get basically anywhere. We cleaned out a store that was going out of business. I had a whole shopping cart full of this. This right here, this bottle right here, back 7 years ago was $5.99 a bottle, and I think I paid 50 cents a bottle for it when I bought them out. So, like I said, when you're prepping, you got to think about what you're doing. When you're prepping, you make every dollar stretch as far as you can possibly go. Some things you can't, some things you can. But if you can stretch it, I'd definitely go to stores going out of business, see what's going around. Like, this is a Coleman lantern. This is an antique one. Okay, still works just fine. I paid $5 for this at a yard sale. Okay, the only thing that I had to do to this lantern to get it to work properly is buy a new pump. There it is. And I think I paid like $3 for this thing, or maybe a little bit more. Anyway, you can go to any camping store or anything and buy these. Replace the pump. Everything else works perfect. You need to buy extra boots for these things, because you bang them after a while, they're turning into like dust over a period of time when you're using them. So you definitely need to buy extra boots for them. Those are roughly around a 60-watt light bulb, maybe a 70-watt light bulb. There's 2 burners in this one. So that's probably, I don't know. These will probably run, when you fill them up with the Coleman fuel, they usually run right around 8 to 10 hours on a full tank if you ain't got them burning like out of control. But these are really hot. You want to run these outside too, because you're running actual gasoline or Coleman fuel. That would be like a gasoline. You do not want those vapors inside your house. I don't know if I covered the electric ones yet, but I'm going to do that one. So we got multiple of these floating around. Okay, we keep these inside of a Faraday cage. I only took it out so I could show you. Batteries, most people go into a store and they buy a pack of, say, 5 batteries for like $7-8. You're out of your mind doing that. I would go into like Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards for the people in the Midwest. That's where Menards is usually at. Any major hardware store, you could buy big packs of like 36 batteries, like the Energizers or Duracell. You could buy the big packs for like $16-17, and they have a shelf life of about 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. I would definitely put them inside of a Faraday cage. Now, it's important that you understand when you're putting stuff inside of a Faraday cage, if it's electronics like CBs, shortwave radios, stuff like that, I would definitely wrap them up inside some saran wrap first. I would wrap them up in a towel, and then I would completely cover that with multiple layers of aluminum foil. Put them inside a metal can with a metal lid. Any kind of metal container that's a heavy duty metal container, it will stop an EMP from destroying the electronics inside there. When you buy electronics, most of the time there's little packets inside there, a gel pack. It's inside of a little package. It absorbs all the moisture. Throw them things inside there too. They can help control the moisture. People in the Southwest don't really need to worry about that because our humidity at any given time could be 10%. But Northeast, you're talking 100% humidity plus. I mean, it's insane the amount of, Northwest, same thing. I would definitely consider different ways to light whatever you're doing. Like I said, stay on top of it with your children. Plan, train, make sure everybody in the household is completely on board with what you're doing and why you're doing it. Like I said, keep them away from anything combustible. You don't want a fire during the SHTF. And if anybody says, well, I don't think we're going to have that, well, you might want to think again. Okay, and I'm going to give you a for instance, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to go do this because you're only as smart as the machine that you're playing with right now. You need to look up Sri Lanka. I think I said it on one of my videos. It's collapsed. It has. It's completely collapsed. You have Peru completely collapsing right now. You have multiple other countries that are on the verge of collapsing. They can't get fuel. I don't know why this is happening. I just know that it is happening. We have a crisis on the planet, and if you're prepared for whatever comes at you, then I think you'll be all right. That's mentally, physically, spiritually, every aspect of the preparedness of what's coming. I think one of my videos, I went on kind of on a rant, but it needed to be said. I said that if you haven't talked to your loved ones, it's time that you do it. Show them. Don't give up on showing them what's going on in the world. If you're having problems with that and they just shake their heads and they're snowflakes, keep doing it. Don't give up. I scratch my head every day at this snowflake mentality. I don't understand it. I know the older generation gets what I'm trying to say. They see what's going on and they understand it. But this younger generation, I feel sorry for them. I really do. I feel sorry that they could just go through life and not understand what's going on in this world. It's a sad situation. I hope for the best for them, and I really do. I hope the best for my family that aren't prepared for this. I hope the best for my grandkids. I can only do so much. You can only say so much if they don't want to listen. What's the old saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it. There you go. I hope the best for everybody. I hope my video today helped you guys. I like the feedback. The trolls, thanks for trolling me. I get a kick out of that. And now I'm getting trolled. Well, for you trolls, guess what? If you're trolling me, that means I'm telling the truth. That's how I look at it. Okay? And God tells me that you're going to do it. And I know you're going to do it. So just keep it on. And hopefully the people that are watching the videos understand that trolls are there to try to disprove what you're saying. And the whole time they're actually proving that I'm right. Because you would not be trolling me if I wasn't telling the truth. That's the part that I get a kick out of. Now, we've watched, I'm just going to throw this out here. Okay, so it's acceptable for people to have baby got back butt bouncing all over the place on YouTube. That's acceptable. They don't get trolled. You can be a rapist on steroids, okay, and be raping somebody on live YouTube, and they don't say anything about that. But if you try to tell somebody the right way to try to protect their families and to be self-reliant, then, and God, oh, wow. Yeah, you say God or Jesus Christ and anything, they're trolling you, okay? They don't want you to be talking about that. They've taken God out of everything. You know what? I listen to him, okay? And he's guided me, and he's going to continue to guide me no matter what you trolls think. And the way I see this, if trolls are going to be out there not doing a bunch of nonsense, okay, I've noticed something pretty weird about my wife's channel. I watch my wife's channel like a hawk. It's my wife. Why wouldn't I watch it? So a troll will get on there and say something totally stupid, okay, and all these people are thumbing it up. Okay, how twisted is it that a person that's trying to find the truth on what's going on in the world would thumb up an idiotic snowflake? I don't get that one. And then the best one is unsubscribe to her or whatever they're doing. I find that hilarious. I just, we're out here. It doesn't matter why we're doing this, but something in our guts telling us to do this, okay? And I'm going to put odds on it that it's the big guy that's telling us to do this, okay? And he says to me, and the way I interpret it, is if I can touch one, okay, plant the seed for one, then I did my job. I get it, okay? If somebody doesn't agree with what I'm saying, okay, that's your opinion. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It just means that that's your opinion, okay? If you can't do it constructively, and I'm saying something when I'm describing something, and if I say it wrong, that you don't agree with it, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that you don't agree with it. Okay? Same thing with my wife's channel. That's the way she's interpreting it. Okay? And the same thing with the Bible. The Bible, I look at it as a living document that can change from person to person to person. It just means that that's how you interpret it. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but that's how God wants you to interpret it, okay? So please show a little bit of respect for other people when you're making crazy comments, okay? Because I get a kick out of them. I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay, that's your interpretation of it, but do it with a little bit of couth when you're doing it, for your sake. Because 99% of the time, when you're being a fool, when you're doing whatever you're saying, it's not the person that you're trying to make look like a fool, it's yourself that you're making look like a fool. So we understand that that's what God tells us to do, and that's why we're doing it. So he says in the Bible, we've accepted it, people will hate you without cause. Okay, so that's okay. I accept that. My wife accepts it. We both accept it. Believe me, our whole lives, people hated us for no reason. Okay, I got people hating me now. I don't even know why they hate me. I still ain't figured it out yet. Maybe it's because I look funny. I don't know. Maybe I dress funny. Maybe it's because I got tattoos. I don't know. Don't care. Okay, if they need to go through life with that much hatred in them, let them go at it. There's other things that people need to do besides hating people. Okay, but anyway, on that rant, just get prepared. Okay, I don't know when, where, or how, or why, or anything like that. I don't know the time or the date or any of that nonsense. But the 5, get them, please. Get a plan. So you want food, water, medicine, safe place. That would be a plan with your allies. Like I said before, you get to know your neighbors, because if you don't know your neighbors, they might become an enemy. And you want means of self-defense, no matter what the self-defense is. I've covered a few of them. If you need some suggestions, please hit me up. I'm more than willing to hit you up with some suggestions. I'm being very careful on how I do this self-defense thing, because I don't want to get a strike on this. You know, some people could sit here and talk about whatever they want to talk about all day long. I think they're government shills. That's my opinion. But if somebody likes me or my wife says something, they don't like it, which I get it. But if you would like some suggestions, I've been dabbling around in my head with some more suggestions for low-income households and stuff like that. So I think I might do one on self-defense on low-income houses. So to help you guys out, things that you probably haven't thought of. So anyway, you guys have a safe day. Get a plan. God bless and be safe. Thank you.